Greetings, cultivators.
What the fuck is good?
Welcome to Podcasting is Forbidden in the Podrecesses, the only lesbian-hosted podcast about Patriarch of the... I'm Roy, and I'm here to impose death by 1,000 nuts.
I love that. And I'm Fallon, and I'm here to impose death by 1,000 ligmas. Ling-chi ligma, is this anything?
I think it's something. I really do think it's something.
All right,
I like
cool.
it. To me personally, I like it, so... That's the only thing. It's the only thing that matters to
Roy's
anybody.
validation is really the only validation that matters to me, if we're being real, so...
Roy is the only one that matters.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I want to apologize for not getting an episode out last week. We already put out a little thing saying, hey, sorry about it.
Yeah.
Depression be like that sometimes.
We've just been kind of going through it the past couple weeks.
We've really been going through it.
I know some people might not view that as like a valid excuse, but I don't know. We do this for fun.
Valid.
I'm glad that people, realize.
Yeah, people understand. People are cool.
Understand. Y'all are really cool.
Yeah, we have cool and good listeners.
We do.
But the thing is, the only, it's good to take, downtime for us. Sometimes we just can't get it out. But the tragic thing that happened in not getting an episode out last week is that we missed Lan Wangji's birthday.
We did miss Lan Wangji's birthday. The only man in the world had a birthday on the 23rd
of January, and we missed it.
We did miss it, and I'll regret that for a long time. But, in spirit, oh my god, there are gorillas on your shirt. I just realized there's fucking gorillas. She's got this tiny little gorilla print on her shirt. They're like 4 millimeters across.
That's a good shirt.
Fuck.
It's a men's medium. I got it at the thrift store for like $2.50.
I like it.
I like a good tiny print.
A gorilla moment.
Man, I found a shirt exactly very like this one, but it was like dark blue and it had little lobsters on it. And I wanted it so bad, but my titties wouldn't fit in it.
Oh no!
So upset.
Rip.
Useless. But
yeah, it was Lan Wangji's birthday, so happy birthday to the only man to ever exist.
I'll give you the gorilla shirt off of my back. Yes. Lan Wangji, I love you. What we didn't miss, however, is that, what day was it? I believe last Tuesday or Wednesday, was the 1-year anniversary of me finding Modal.
Oh, I love that! What a beautiful moment.
I know, right? The advance from, the end of January 2019, me finding this media franchise, to 2 months after that starting a podcast about it, and then a year after moment 1, here we are.
We're still on that shit.
We're still on the fucking grind.
We're still on that grind.
We are still on it. It's monumental. It's
really beautiful to me.
You know what? I'm happy for it. 2020,
I know.
It's good. Full year of Modal to me.
I'm grateful for it.
It's Thanksgiving now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's the groundhog came up out of the ground today on Groundhog's Day of February 2nd when we're recording this, and he saw his shadow and he said it's going to be 6 more years of Modal for Roy and Ray.
Thank God.
Thank God. And it really is going to be another 6 years because what we neglected to mention at the end of last episode, because the last chapter that we talked about was chapter 27.
Yep.
Which means we officially have 100 chapters left.
Yay! Only 4 more years.
4 more years of this. But this week we read some little tiny chapters. These are little chapters.
They were little bites.
Mm-hmm. Little chapter bites, little chaplets.
I think that's the fun thing about web novels is yeah, there are 100, 200 chapters, but they're 3 or 4 pages each.
Mostly.
I mean, sometimes she'll really bust them out, but
we gonna
other
get
than
there.
that, yeah, it's granted, it's fairly inconsistent. What the fuck? What is this?
What the hell?
I just pulled a random, very small piece of red plastic out of my titty. Sorry.
It was one of the lobsters from that shirt.
Yeah, it just materialized in my bust.
Yeah. He didn't want anything to do with mine, but he said, you know what?
Yeah.
I could
But,
fuck with
I mean, we say we have 100 chapters left, and I said we have 4 years, but, like, with the way that some of these chapters are, we could read, like, 3 or 4 of them in a sitting and be chilling.
We would be definitely chilling.
So there's that.
And speaking of doing a lot of things in one sitting, these 2 chapters, 28 and 29, kind of... one chapter ends and the next one begins in the middle of a conversation. Yeah. So I said, fuck it, I'm not writing 2 summaries. I'm writing one big summary, like I did last week.
That's
because
fair.
Why not? So I'm just gonna go ahead and get the fuck into it. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Are you feeling it? So, chapters 28 and 29, parts 1 and 2 of the Dew arc.
Dew.
Why? We were talking about this a little bit beforehand. Why is it called Dew?
I don't understand half of the titles for these chapters or like arcs or anything. I just don't get it.
It's called Dew because I don't fucking know, dude. Anyway,
because they're gonna do
the Dew. These chapters are sponsored by Mountain Dew. But yeah, so chapter 28, chapter 29. So chapter 28 starts out with Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji have, they've been on the road and they have gotten to Yueyang, which is where they're at now. Lan Wangji asks Wei Wuxian how the curse mark is doing, and Wei Wuxian says, it's just vibing. But Lan Wangji kind of, recognizes that that's bullshit, and he tells him to show him the mark later so he can check it out, make sure it's actually decent. Mm-hmm. They talk about whether they think one group of people is behind all of the Scooby-Doo shit they've been working on, or what, and they agree that they think it's more than one group of people, and they're kind of working against each other, specifically. Somebody with, Nia knowledge is trying to hide things, and then somebody who knows Lan stuff is, trying to bring it out into the open. Mm-hmm. So, Wei Wuxian tries to ask again how Lan Wangji knew it was him, but Lan Wangji doesn't take the bait. They get to town, and Wei Wuxian says, I don't want to gather intel this time, Lan Zhan, you do it. And he says, I'm already on it. And Wei Wuxian says, wait, I have to come with you to be annoying. So, so Lan Wangji says, okay. They decide to chat it up with this waiter so he can, so Wei Ying can get white girl wasted while getting info. And the rest of this chapter is just the waiter telling them, the good shit, which is that the cultivators who used to be in charge of this area were the Chang clan. They were kind of low tier, and all of them died in this spooky haunted mystery massacre about 10 years ago, and the only person who survived was their leader, who just happened to have been out and about at the time. His name was Chang Ping. Our cats are going fuckos.
Nuts.
Yeah. Why?
Cuckoo for coconuts.
Why the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on this Sunday night? Whatever. So that's where we kind of slip over into chapter 29. The waiter clarifies that a couple years after the entire rest of the Chang clan ate shit, Changping did too, and that was extra horrible because he was murdered via Ling Qi, which you may know as...
Ligma?
Ligma, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally the death by 1,000 cuts, where you just kind of slice off pieces of a person a bit at a time.
Yeah, I think that said specifically it was 3,600 cuts or something.
How do you keep count? Whatever, we'll get there. Fucking...
The fact that this fantasy society has done this enough times to know exactly how many cuts it takes to get to the center of a human Tootsie Roll. Creepy.
It's bad. But yeah, it's some horrible shit. It's shit that Wei Wuxian, even at his most war crime committing, wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So nobody knows why all the Changs got murdered. There were rumors that it was revenge by another sect, but the waiter says, actually, it was the Yiling Patriarch, duh. So Wei Wuxian gets kind of offended and grabs Lan Wangji and so they can leave and go do detective shit, but then he tells the waiter not to get rid of his booze. The waiter starts to ask, how to get into the cultivation business, but he gets a little bit too cozy with Lan Wangji. He gets too cozy with Wei Wuxian. He sees Lan Wangji giving off JoJo sound effects and he backs off. There's some funny booze comedy, and then Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji finally get going. They talk about their new info. Lan Wangji reassures Wei Wuxian that he didn't kill the Changs, because Wei Wuxian is like, boy, I sure did kill a lot of people, maybe I did, and I don't remember. But Lan Wangji says that the perp had ties to Wei Wuxian's mom, because he has a brain blast, and he's like, oh, I remember this shit now.
Yeah.
We get a little bit about how Wei Wuxian's mom was a rogue cultivator, which means she didn't belong to any sect. His dad had been Zhang Fengmian's servant, but Zhang Fengmian and Madame Yu never really talked about Wei Ying's parents to him. Lan Wangji says, you ever hear of a guy called Xiao Xingchen? And he hasn't. Which, no shit, because Xiao Xingchen is a guy who became famous after Wei Wuxian died.
Yeah.
And Xiao Xingchen was another rogue cultivator, and he had studied under the same master as Wei Wuxian's mom. And the two of them were the only two people who ever mattered who left their master up on the mountain that they all lived on.
Yeah.
And her name was Baoshan Sanren. She was an immortal, she's a big deal, whatever. And the two of them, they didn't leave together, but they, just by virtue of having studied under the same person, they're considered sect relatives, basically. And they're two of the only people who left the mountain to go do cultivator stuff in the normal people world. So, Xiao Xingchen left 12 years ago, and he got really famous for being smart and talented and a good boy, and everybody wanted him to come join their sects, but he said, no, I have a boyfriend and we're gonna start our own sect, and then the Changs died, the end.
That's it.
That's the chapters. So chapter 28 starts with is this the first time that they start referring to their pieces of corpse as our dear friend?
I think he started a little bit in the end of one of the last chapters, but
Probably.
yeah, this is where they really start
this is my
befriending this man.
Befriending this man. This is my friend Arm. He's
It's great because, he doesn't really have to worry about holding up his end of the conversation. I can just talk.
Yeah.
That's Wei Wuxian's, dream
Oh my
right there, is
God.
just to have someone he can just talk at.
Yeah. Loves the sound of his own voice. He's like my dad.
Oh my
God. So they're walking around and they're like, I guess they're like, are they in the city yet? Whatever, it doesn't matter. They're just, they're shooting the shit. Wei Ying's like, or Lan Wangji's like, how's that ankle monitor disease doing? And
Wei Wuxian's like, it's not a problem. He might have gotten a little too close to the thing and gotten fucked up, but it's a non-issue.
Yeah, he's like, who cares? It's fine. I'm alive. Whatever. And
It faded a little, and Lan Wangji's like, a little?
What's a little?
What's a little? Wei Wuxian's like, I don't know, you want me to just whip it out?
He says,
I can show you.
He fucking says, should I take my clothes off and show you, because he's being a gremlin in these chapters again.
And it's so funny because and they pointed out later, it's now, he doesn't before his identity was revealed, we get a whole spiel about it, only someone with a face as thick as Wei Wuxian would carry on as if he wasn't involved in anything.
Yeah.
But he's he had an excuse to do it when he was acting like this dude to try and get people to, stay away from him. But now that Lan Wangji knows his identity, he's just fucking doing this just to do it.
He's committed to the bit now.
Him doing this anyway, despite knowing that he doesn't have a valid reason to pull the shameless act anymore. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's great. It's a fucking good thing he never thinks too hard about anything he does, because otherwise this might have been a little bit enlightening for him.
He's so fucking stupid.
He just him not needing to keep up this character anymore, but still wanting to do sexy, shameless things to rile Lan Wangji up. You ever think about that? Harder than the surface level? Probably not.
Do you ever? No, it's probably nothing.
No, but anyways,
we get an entire chapter about, or an entire paragraph about that.
Yeah, and so he's like, so Han Guangjun.
Yeah, which he thinks is extremely funny to call him by his title.
Fucking funny. I feel like it's almost equivalent to Lan Wangji being a doctor, and Wei Wuxian is choosing to refer to him explicitly as Dr. Lan, just for the cheek of it.
I mean, shit, if I had a doctorate, if I had a PhD, I would absolutely demand everybody call me that, but it's not quite the same.
I would insist upon my friends calling me Dr.
What if I was Dr. Fuck Warlock?
You are Dr. Fuck Warlock in my heart.
I am Dr. Fuck Warlock. I'm MFA Fuck Warlock.
MFA Fuck Warlock.
MFA Twigs. So,
So he's like, so do you think the same people are behind this whole
Oh, wait, real
Wong
quick.
Ju?
There's like, in that paragraph about him being a fucking gremlin and not giving a shit about it anymore, like, it lists a few of the gremlin-assed things he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's, like, we know that he climbed into Lan Wangji's bed.
Yeah.
But he's also insisted on sharing a bathtub, which, like, in this universe is, like, the funny Geralt Witcher meme bathtub.
Yeah.
And also put on makeup and asked Lan Wangji if he looked pretty. So that's the type of shit that he's doing.
He's really fucking pulling it. He's seeing how far he can take this before Lan Wangji finally snaps. He kicks his ass.
There's no end is the thing that he doesn't realize. That's the thing!
He doesn't realize it, and he's just gonna get himself into a lot of trouble.
He's a
Lan
fucking
Wangji
buffoon.
When it comes to Wei Wuxian, he's just endlessly tolerant.
But he don't know that.
But Wei Wuxian don't know that.
Because
Wei Wuxian
he's a fucking fool.
Yeah, Wei Wuxian still thinks Lan Wangji is the same insecure, emotionally constipated dude he was when he was 15. Just so you know, Wei Wuxian, he's now 35 years old.
That's the thing, yeah.
He's 35 years old. He's a grown adult.
He is a grown adult man.
He might have learned. He might have picked a couple things up.
He definitely
on his road to adulthood.
Like, he doubled in size for one thing. Like, definitely doubled in width.
Yes, it's weird. He's like a wall.
I think you can kind of assume that he's also grown in other ways, perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know you had 13 years to pause and just be doing you, but whatever. So they start talking about, like, their theories about what's going on.
This scene is cool, and pretty much all of the scenes where they're hashing things out together are cool, because Wei Wuxian is like, what do you think about this thing? And Lan Wangji's like, he expresses an opinion it's not even an opinion, he's like, this thing is a thing.
Yeah.
And it's an opinion that matches up with Wei Wuxian's, and Wei Wuxian is like, cool, info dumps about the thing, and catches the audience up. Mm-hmm. So like, because I don't know, I just love how they're so on the same page with most things.
They're on them wavelengths.
And it feels like that, like, were it not for the narrative necessity of Wei Wuxian bouncing back at Lan Wangji's monosyllabic agreements, they could just look at each other and telepathically communicate what they were going to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just how the cadence of these conversations usually go, and I think it's kind of fun.
It's really good. So they're being smart together, and then Wei Wuxian has this Bugs Bunny ass plan to try to trick Lan Wangji into telling him how he knew it was him again.
Yeah, they're doing this rapid fire conversation.
Yeah. Hey, did you know? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? How did you know it was me?
Think for yourself. Yeah. He tried to sneak it in there, that little classic tactic, but unfortunately Lan Wangji is just too slick for that shit.
He's too smart. He's on it.
He's on it. Just think for yourself. I fucking love that.
He knows.
Lan Wangji has had it.
He knows. He knows how this boy is gonna do, and he's just dealing with it, because that's all you can do with Wei Ying is just deal with it. He
does what he does, and you do what you can do about it.
You just gotta manage it. So
that's courtesy of Little Wayne.
Little Wayne.
He do what he do, and you do what you can do about it.
Whittle Wayne.
Whittle Wayne. Whittle Way. Lil Way.
Whittle Way Woo Way.
Lil Way Woo Way.
Anyway.
But anyway, and then once they get all of that out of the way, Wei Wuxian's like, okay, well, you know, I kind of want to take a break from being annoying. Can you go to town for me and just, like, ask around for this stuff? And Lan Wangji's like,
Yeah.
And immediately, once he turns around, Wei Wuxian's like, where are you going? And Lan Wangji's like, I'm gonna ask to find the cultivation.
I'm gonna go get information, just like we just said a second ago.
Like you said, like, bless him, but he really is not very imaginative.
And I mean, he's doing exactly what they said, you know. Wei Wuxian says, go look for info. He says, okay. Wei Wuxian says, where are you going? He says, I'm looking for info.
He takes things very literally. And I love him deeply.
And then Wei Wuxian realizes that he's going to be left alone and he can't be having with that.
He's like, but that's not a good plan, man. I mean, where would you go? Who would you ask? Come on, I mean, you can't just, like, go out and, like, ask people these things. I mean, clearly you have to come with me because I know what to do in these social situations.
Because I know how to talk to people.
I know how to talk to people, and it's just like, I don't know. My honorable Hong Guang Jr. so cute. I don't really think you could make it out there without me. I'm just gonna come with you, just to make sure things are okay.
So he climbs up him like a monkey climbing a banana tree, and they go off.
is delighted.
Yeah.
There's like a little thing after Wei Wuxian says all this shit, like, although these words were a bit rude, tenderness pooled within Lan Wangji's eyes. Like,
which Wei Wuxian does not see.
Not at all. Lan Wangji is just stoked that Wei Wuxian thinks of them as like kind of an inseparable duo. Yep. So he's like, all right,
okay, sure. I'll take what I can get.
We take that.
Sure. So, so they're like walking around, I guess, and they pass by like basically a bar, more or less. It's like some type of shop, restaurant, liquor place.
And Lan Wangji's like, okay, well, how should I ask for information? And Wei Wuxian's like, obviously we're gonna go get shit-faced.
Yeah. He says, watch me do this D&D ass shit. He fucking, like, this entire novel is just a D&D campaign.
It's really good.
Like, but he says, I want to see if the waiter knows anything, and the DM tells him to roll persuasion, and Wei Wuxian's player rolls well enough for the DM to be like, okay, he's gonna dare you to chug the whole jar first. So...
He gets like a 12.
Yeah, he gets like a 12.
But his constitution is incredible.
Yeah, so later on...
He passes that check.
Oh yeah, later on, like, in the next chapter, he nat 20s his con save to finish his booze, but,
you know. But
this
anyway.
is, like, Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian are the two main PCs.
Right.
I think Jinliang and Zhancheng are the other PCs, but their players can't make it to every session. Like, they have jobs that have them on, like, weird schedules and shit. Wei Wuxian's stats were too OP at the beginning, so the DM nerfed him by making his new body kind of shitty.
You're just projecting now.
I'm correct! I'm projecting my correct takes is what I'm projecting. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't ever do that.
We got a question with some D&D stuff.
Excellent.
Also, so anyway.
But so like Wei Wuxian suggests they go into this thing, and it's one of those times where I'll read a part of this novel and I'll think like, thank God Lan Wangji was in love with you, because you would have steady gotten your ass kicked there that first couple weeks, if not. Because this is just egregious.
It's just clownery. It is so fucking egregious. It is absolutely egregious. Him going around with... They wouldn't even be at this point if he was with anybody else.
Not at all.
No.
No, not at all.
No, it wouldn't happen. So, anyway, they start talking to the waiter, like, calls them over and is like, hey, try our booze. And,
down it, I bet you it'll knock you on your ass, on my mama.
And Wei says, bet. So, so they go in.
Bet, give me 3 jars. He's like, yeah, the dude's like, hey, if you drink 1 jar of this and you can still stand up after it, I'll change my surname to your name. And Wei Wuxian's like, all right, bet, give me 3.
Yeah, 3 of them.
And dude is just overjoyed.
Hell yeah.
So they go in there and they pop a squat.
This waiter does the cool waiter thing where he sits down with them and has like a bit of a chat.
But, like, fucking, like, Wei Wuxian orders 3 jars, right? And he turns to Lan Wangji to justify his decision. And he's like, hey, dude, we're helping their business, you know? We pay them for shit, and then they'll be happy to pay us with some information.
Yeah.
And Lan Wangji just, like, whips his wallet out. He doesn't even question it. I mean, but, like, for as shameless a suggestion as hitting up a bar was, it was a solid suggestion.
Because he knows he's in a D&D campaign.
That's exactly it. So they sit down, and the waiter sits with them, and Wei Wuxian's like, all right, so, what's the weird shit that's been going on here?
Yeah,
give me the spill the tea on the weirdness.
Yeah, tell me the weird shit.
And the guy's like, oh, where should I begin?
Yeah, the guy, so he's like, yeah, we have a cultivation sect around here. They're all dead, though. And he starts with the whole thing about how they all got murdered 10 years ago, and it was like...
Can we also, before that, talk about how the guy asked them what they did for a living?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, I mean, haven't you guessed it? because the cultivator criteria in this world is just 1 sword, 2 big handsome, and 3 he fly.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what you gotta know.
Because Wei Wuxian's like, yeah, haven't you guessed that we're cultivators?
Look at how hot we are.
The waiter's like, yeah, of course, you guys are super sexy and stuff, and you fly around on the clouds and the heavens and stuff, like you fly on swords. Did I mention that I only know that you guys fly on swords and that you do nothing else? He mentions this like 3 more times.
He's so into it. He loves it.
He's so into it. Like,
he thinks it's the coolest shit.
To be fair to this man, if I were in this universe, that would also be the only thing I would retain about cultivators.
He knows 2 things about cultivators. He knows that they fly on swords, and he knows that they're petty.
They're sexy.
And that they're sexy.
They're sexy, petty, they fly on swords.
That's all you gotta know. But is this where he's like, I've never seen people like you, and Wei Wuxian's like, people as dreamy as Han Guangzhu?
Yeah, pretty
fucking
much.
Idiot.
He's like, I've never seen such a, and Wei Wuxian's like, such a fox.
While looking at Lan Wangji, like, making dreamy face.
Yeah, he just says what everybody else is thinking, baby. He just says what everybody else is thinking.
Fucking idiot.
And the waiter's like, sure. Yeah. Anyway.
And he's like, yeah, so the entire clan died. He gives, like, the shit about, like, how spooky it was. Like, their whole house started, like, rattling or some shit.
They pissed themselves a lot.
Basically. The whole floor was covered in pee-pee. Pretty
much everybody had been scared to death.
Yeah, everybody got scared to death. There's a lot of people getting scared to death in this book.
Oh, yeah. Like, shit initially started with slamming on doors. And, like, I mean, it's so funny, too, because I just love how accurate this waiter is to real life. Like, the service workers, they got the tea if you're willing to listen.
Hell yeah.
You want to give them a little mini break, have them sit down with you, just ask them some questions about the shit going on around? Like,
tell them Papa squat in my booth.
Papa squat in my booth. So this guy goes on about what happened with the Chong clan.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to look inside because they were the only cultivators in the area. And, like, if they had some weird freaky shit going on that not even they could handle, there's no way some normies would be able to, like, build a ladder and, like, swing it over there and see what was going on. Like, they'd just get their asses kicked
nobody's going around trying to Tarzan into the Chong compound.
Yeah, they would terminally get their asses kicked.
Oh, yeah, they would absolutely die to death. So, when is it that because that's pretty much the summary of it. It's a lot, like, the text goes on for a while, but that's basically the whole thing.
Yeah, he's like, all of them were frightened to death, and his boss is like, you're about to die, get off your ass!
And he says, you're gonna die, and Comrade Wei Wuxian...
Comrade Wei Wuxian's like, no, let me buy a little more of his time.
Yeah, he says, I got this, don't listen to your boss, fuck him. You're on my time, I'm the customer, so...
5 more shots, baby, you're on my time.
And Lan Wangji pays for 10 more shots.
Yeah, and the owner just whips around, and they're like, you better take care of these people now, or you're gonna die!
Yeah.
So, like, you know, there's pretty much... Either way, it sucks for this waiter, but that's fine.
Yeah. But they're like, look how hot we are. You think you can say no to us?
Yeah. Like...
The customer is right, bitch.
Dude literally is getting paid to gossip right now. Like, it's the dream.
God,
Sean's like, go on. and, like, dude doesn't have too much to say after that. Honestly, he's like, you know, anybody who walked by it could hear the slamming.
Yeah, Mood's haunted.
And them people who fly in the skies, they see all these crazy ghosts and gorgiles, and they were still scared to death. Can you imagine how terrifying that was? Ain't nobody gonna go near there. That's terrifying. You don't do that.
Spocky. So, and then he's like, oh yeah, and then he says something about the head of the clan.
Chongping, that he was away from home, and Wei Wuxian, of course, jumps the gun and doesn't let him finish it. He's like, but you said everybody died?
Like,
dude's...
Like, dude, I ended my sentence with a comma. Like, come on. Give me
dude, like... And then we go straight into... That was the end of chapter 28, so we're straight into chapter 29 now. Yeah. And the waiter's like, can you fucking put your britches back on?
Yeah, he says, funny,
keep your britches on now.
Can I finish?
Can I finish? Yeah. Yes, they did die. Yeah, Wei Ying just needed to let the story unfold, and he was too impatient. That's some ADD shit there. Wow. Wow, we're really learning so much about Wei Wuxian's ADD and Lan Wangji's autism in this chapter.
I'm just saying, it's all real.
For it. Thank you.
The fucking solidarity.
And he's like, so it ends up that the guy did come back, but he ended up getting murked anyway. He was
a couple years later, he got
lynchied. And so none of them escaped.
Yeah, don't like to think about lynchy.
No, that's pretty fucking horrific.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's like a genuine, like an actual. Was that a genuine torture method? Or is it a fantasy torture
I really don't know. Like, as far as I know, like, it seems like it's maybe on par with, like, the Blood Eagle. Like...
The Blood Eagle.
Do you know about the Blood Eagle, right?
No,
like, it was in, remember when I had you read, Everything Ravaged, Everything Burned?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a short story about Vikings, and they do a Blood Eagle in it, and it's the worst description of a death I've ever fucking heard in my life. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's probably terrible because I don't remember it.
Yeah, you probably blocked it out.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you're hearing this and you don't know what a Blood Eagle is, don't look it up. Very fucking bad.
I'm gonna.
Don't do it, Ray.
No, give me a couple minutes. I just want to look.
You don't want to do that. We just ate some nice Dunkaroo funfetti dip.
I have an
and it's going to make both of us hork wildly. Please don't do this. Don't do this. They're mouthing it.
Woo!
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like it. And that's just the, like, Google definition.
And it is associated with lynchy, as it turns out. So
there you go. Yeah. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and that's just the Google definition of it, and not like an evocative, sensory kind of thing from a piece of fiction, where the goal is to make you see and experience things. Don't like that. Anyway, how does it describe lynchy in here in this paragraph? I'm gonna spare most of the details, but the end of this paragraph is until all of the flesh is gone and there's only a skeleton left, which is fucking horrible. Don't like that one bit.
Oh yeah, they just shave you right down to it. Don't like it. It's not great. So
it isn't great.
That's what old Chongping had to deal with.
Yeah, that's what happened to him. And fucking, they're talking about this horrible, disgusting gore torture, and they get some beer nuts.
Yeah, they get some beer nuts. But like something else that was pretty gave me a little chortle was this guy was like describing to Wei Wuxian what lynchy was because just in case you don't know, and Wei Wuxian, like it says, of course it was impossible for Wei Wuxian not to know what lynchy was. If somebody wanted a book called 1,000 Ways to Die Agonizing Deaths, he'd have been the person who was the most qualified to write it. He's just like quirky, morbid goth hot wife Wei Wuxian.
He's literally the fucking drill torture college tweet.
Yeah, he's got the hot knowledge.
I put years of hard work into getting my torture degree at torture college, and now everyone's like, oh, torture's bad, it's ineffective, fuck off.
Fuck off.
But, so they're talking about ways to do murder, and they get beer nuts, and they just casually... Wei Wuxian is just, like, eating some peanuts or whatever, just like, oh, lynchy, huh? Whatever,
yeah.
So... Stupid.
And then the waiter goes on, talks about how, like, nobody's
rumors,
in charge, and Yueyang to take care of the zombie ghosts now.
Yeah.
And I guess, maybe they just offended the wrong people. It's just kind of talking about how petty the cultivation sects are.
Yeah, he says these sects or whatever indeed hold grudges. Like, fucked up if true, huh?
Fucked up if true.
Weird how I'm here to state one of the theses of this novel, huh?
Yeah, and just in such plain terms, too.
Just casual over a plate of cashews. Whatever.
And he's like, I don't really know who did it. Apparently it was like a big famous villain boy.
Yeah, what was his name? I can't snap my fingers.
Wei Wuxian's like,
imagine I'm snapping my fingers.
What was his name? Wei Wuxian's like, let me guess, you don't know his name, right? Because he already kind of knows.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's like, no, I know exactly who it was. It was
I got it. Yeeling man.
It was the Yeeling dad.
Yeelingman.
I mean, Yeeling patriarch.
Yeah, Yeeling patriarch.
Yeeling dad.
Yeah.
And Wei Wuxian's like,
yeah.
Really?
And then the guy's like, oh yeah, his real name was Wei Wuxian, which the translation of that is Wei broke ass. So,
yeah.
So Wei Wuxian's name, Wuxian means no envy. Wuxian means no money.
Wuxian. Isn't that great?
So this guy calls him broke, and Wei Wuxian says, all right, I'm about to head out. He's headed up to here. He can only take so much.
The fucking Yeeling Patriarch is just the national scapegoat now.
He is.
He super is.
He's the national shithead.
He looks over at Lan Wangji like, man, can we, this is crazy.
Yeah, he's like, you know what, I don't have to take this.
And Lan Wangji apparently had been waiting for this look since quite a while ago because he always knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. He's been waiting for any kind of look so he can get up and leave, like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, he just needs a confirmation from the other party that they can just fucking leave because he's tired of this.
Yeah, he been in a place with people long enough. That's me always.
And have you ever thought about how, like, Lan Wangji is kind of a traveling cultivator, and he's probably been in this situation so many times before where the Yeeling Patriarch was the culprit, basically, in every minor haunting in every town he went to.
Jesus.
And now he's just, like, sitting there, like...
Here it is again. Yep. Yep. Yeah, he did that. He #did that, huh? So they get up, and the waiter, like, kind of goes after them a little bit.
The waiter is kind of chilling at first, though. He's, like, just sitting there eating peanuts. He's straight up just taking a break at this point, and I love that for him.
He's on his 15-minute, yeah.
He's on his 15. Like, he deserves it, man.
He's having a smoke break.
He's like, so what are you guys gonna do? And
they're like, we're gonna go check out the old Chong place.
Yeah, Wei Wuxian's like, we're gonna sneak a couple peeks.
And then the guy's like, hey, cool, and he literally says, like, oh, that's so cool.
Do you guys work really hard? Like, is it hard to be a cultivator? Like, do you guys make money? Like, you probably make a shitload of money, right? Like, that's crazy. Like, you must be so respected by everybody. Like, do you think it's like, is it really hard to get started? And he, like, wraps his arm around Wei Wuxian's
He's like,
shoulder.
you got any hot tips on any cultivation openings? Like, I'm trying to get into the biz, you know.
Yeah, and he, like, wraps his arm around Wei Wuxian's shoulders. And, like, Lan Wangji starts just giving him this look.
Oh, he's fucking go.
The waiter's like,
bass boosted.
Is your friend, like, okay? And Wei Wuxian's like, oh, no, you know what? He's just kind of a fuddy-duddy. He hates it when people get, too comfy.
Wei Wuxian's like, oh, no, he's just being normal.
He's just being normal. He just doesn't like physical contact. He doesn't like watching people have physical contact. But, like, it's weird because, like, it only really happens when somebody is having physical contact with me. Don't know what that could mean. Anyway.
He's just...
Fucking Lan Wangji is just back there. He's so fucking mad.
He's so fucking mad. He is so fucking mad.
And the guy's like, you think I was putting my arm around his wife? And, like, Wei Wuxian's like, no idea about that, but anyway, I finished a jar of your shitty liquor. And the guy's like, what? Wei Wuxian's like,
check it out.
I'm up. I'm, like, lucid, so you gonna change your surname, or are you a bitch? Are you gonna bitch out, boy? And the waiter's like, I've literally never seen this before, but, like, okay, what's your surname? Let's do it.
And he fucking says the words, cause he goes, oh yeah, he heard my name, quote unquote. He had said Wei Wu broke ass, and he says, my surname is Lan. And Lan Wangji hears it and trips a little bit.
It seemed as if for 1 second, Lan Wangji's figure stumbled ever so slightly. Which, like, if it's even showing outwardly at all, some shit is fucked up in there.
Oh my
God.
is
so funny.
It's so good.
And yeah, Wei Wuxian comes up to him afterwards and he's like, Han Guangjun, anyway, since you paid the bill, I made him take your surname.
Yeah.
Like,
aren't you proud of me?
Yeah, he's truly the most selfless and thoughtful man ever, isn't he? Isn't that great that he just, like, did it specifically so...
He's so altruistic. He's got such a big
so
heart.
altruistic, he didn't do it to fuck with him at all.
Oh yeah, no, he's just paying honor and respects.
And Wei Wuxian's like, hey, why didn't you let me keep grilling that guy back there? And Lan Wangji comes up with an answer on the spot that doesn't make him sound like a jealous bitch.
Yeah, he's like, I just thought of something.
I just thought of something that I
had a brain blast.
Like, great save there, champ.
Yeah.
They're really bad at lying to each other.
They're so fucking stupid.
They're very bad at lying to each other in any meaningful way.
Lan Wangji, I feel like, is bad at lying in general. Like, he doesn't do it a whole lot.
I don't think
it's not. Yeah,
and whenever he does lie, it's like later on post canon.
Yeah,
for Wei Wuxian. So
bad influence.
It's just not in him to lie.
It's not.
But anyway, Wei Wuxian's like, he's like hashtag thonking about it. And he's like, Just making sure. I definitely didn't murder those people, right?
Yeah, he's like, I didn't return from the grave and engage in mass homicide, did I? And Lan Wangji's like, no.
Fuck
so,
no.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's fine. I just had a brain blast. And he starts talking about, like, some shit. He's like, well, so here's the thing. You didn't do it, but,
it is kind of connected to you.
It is in a very, like, Kevin Bacon 6 Degrees thing way related to you. And Wei Wuxian's like, oh, and, so this is where he's like, he starts...
It's your mom.
Yeah, so via your mom, we have some connections.
So we got some connections, okay? So this guy... And it talks about, it starts, Lan Wangji's like, the person, one of the people in question shared a past with your mother. Yeah. Wei Wuxian's like, oh my god, my mother. And we get this little paragraph about how, about his parents, what they were, and how pretty much the only people that could have told him anything about his parents were Zhang Fangmian and his wife, Madame Yu.
Yeah, imagine if the Zhangs were normal.
Imagine if the Zhangs were normal. Like, it really sucks to think about, dude. He lost his parents at too early an age to really remember them, and then the only people who could have told him anything about them or his childhood were too preoccupied and emotionally constipated to do it. Like, it sucks. He had no access to his childhood because the people that took care of him were just...
so in their own shit.
So in their own shit,
feelings.
Just not capable of being good parents.
But
anyway,
and that's another thing. Like, people are always talking about, like, oh, Zhang Fengmian took Wei Wuxian back to, like, honor his parents or whatever. It's like, he can't honor them by, like, talking about them a little bit, No,
he's, like, so selfless, though.
Yeah, but he's such a good daddy. He can't fucking sneak away for 5 minutes to tell Wei Wuxian a little bit of something. I know he ain't around his wife all the time. He be going off in his divorce boat.
Yeah, it's all Madame Yu's fault because she was the most outwardly physically abusive of either of them, so clearly she's the only one at fault.
Yeah.
Hate when people do that. Yeah. Really hate when people do that. Don't really acknowledge the fact that there were multiple types of abuse happening to all three of those children.
Don't really like when Zhang Fengmian doesn't take advantage of his Jimmy Buffett divorce boats to, get Wei Ying a chance to hear about his mom and dad a little bit. But anyway,
whatever.
This isn't a book about wishful thinking if the Zhangs were normal.
No, so he thinks about that for a little bit, and Lan Wangji's like, you ever heard of Xiao Xingchen? And Wei Wuxian's like, does not ring a bell.
News to me.
And Lan Wangji's like, obviously.
Yeah, no shit, you died before he ever happened to us.
No shit, you were long gone. You missed him by a little bit.
Yeah.
He only missed him by like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, just a teeny bit. But he
was like super popular initially.
He was a celebrity. He came down and he was being a very famous good boy.
He was being a very famous good boy, and he was mostly famous because he had come down the mountain because he was being trained by Baoshan Sanran.
Yeah.
And so Wei Wuxian's like, oh, cool, he's my uncle then.
Yeah. He's my little baby uncle. He's my uncle who's younger than me.
Mm-hmm, because Sangsa Sanran, his mom, had been a pupil under this person as well.
Yeah.
So... we get a little bit of backstory on Baoshan Sanran. She
fucking rules.
She rules. She's apparently old as hell. She's doing immortal. Her thing. She's immortal
and by old as hell, we mean she's been around forever. She probably looks like she's 19 like everybody else.
Yeah, like remember when they were talking earlier about Lan An? Remember how they talked about Wen Mao?
Yeah, she's from the same time as them.
So she is seasoned.
Yeah, but she said, oh... She looked at the two of them and went, y'all want to fuck around in your petty asses and get your dick wet? All right. I'm going to go live on a mountain and reach immortality. Text it.
Hit my line.
Hit my line.
Hit my line if you're still alive. You won't be.
Either DM me or hit my line, bro. I got loud. I'm trying to smoke.
Yes.
I got loud. I'm trying to reach immortality.
God, rip to big doings. So basically... Baoshan Sanran's whole thing after she reached immortality was she picked up orphans and taught them how to do magic. It was just her and her ragtag school of magical orphans. So that's great. And
Yeah.
pretty much nobody ever really left the mountain because the whole thing with it was if you wanted to leave the mountain, she was completely cutting you off. She was not going to be paying your rent. She was not going to be helping you with food.
Yeah.
She might buy one of your textbooks, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's her own. That's out of her own.
You can't even hit her up on Christmas for some extra money if you need it.
No,
Like,
you're not getting any cards anymore.
You get nothing.
No. Yeah, she's telling her students, like, well, if you're gonna go into the petty-ass dick wettening world, you do you, but don't bother bringing that shit back under my roof. Take it sleazy.
Yeah, take it sleazy. Hit my line!
Hit my line!
Hit my line, except don't ever do that again
Yeah.
because you've been tainted by the outside world.
Yeah. So only 3 people out of all of them ever left. The first one, Yanling Daoran, who he doesn't matter, and the other 2 were Xiao Xingchen and Sangzi Sanren.
Yeah, Songs of Sonren happened, and then Wei Wuxian happened, and then Xiao Xingchen happened.
Yeah, in order.
And none of them apparently died a peaceful death.
Yeah, they all died in bad ways, and you hate to see it.
And they all died in bad, horrible ways. And
Yeah.
so
we
so
just
it
get like
says
a
we get the text telling us that Lan Wangji told Wei Wuxian the stories of
yeah.
Xiao Xingchen, which, like, I would like to hear a story told in his point of view a little
Yeah.
bit more often. I know we get it sometimes in the book, but, like, just write out his dialogue sometimes,
Yeah.
maybe. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and
But-
it's like, there's definitely a time and place for summary versus scene, and in a big relay of a story like this, 99 times out of 100, I would say, yeah, just put it in summary.
Yeah.
But I really would, now that you bring it up, like to hear Lan Wangji tell a story in his own voice.
Yeah.
Like, I
because
hadn't
we
even
get-
thought of that.
We get so little of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he's such a not talking boy.
But, like, I guess he's willing to step up to the plate for Wei Wuxian. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yep.
So Xiao Xingchen was he was a fresh-faced baby boy when he left. He was only 17. Mm-hmm. And Lan Wangji never met him, but, like, he's heard about how cool and
How good and cool.
fun and pure he is.
Fresh out of the mountain, ready to go to normal people world college.
And he went on his first night hunt, fucking killed it. Fucking absolutely just sliced the shit out of the competition.
Oh yeah.
And
Kicked
he was
ass.
just
took
immediately
names.
famous. Immediately famous after that.
Oh yeah.
And, like, everybody was, like, slobbering over this dude
Yeah.
because all of the big sects, they were like, come join our shit, make us powerful,
Yeah.
and bring your beautiful sexy muscles and cool long hair
Come
and your famous ass to
your
our,
famous
to our
ass.
clan.
Bring your famous ass around here.
Bring your famous ass around here. Bring us glory.
Let me see them famous yeeks.
He's out here double cupped.
Let me put them yeeks in our colors.
He's cheeked up. Cheeked up, ready to cultivate. Fuck. But
Cultivate these cakes.
Cultivate these cakes. But every time somebody comes up to him and like, hey, please, let us cultivate your cakes, Xiao Xingchen's like, no, I'm just, like, waiting for the one, you know?
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm vibing.
I have a special someone in mind. I can't tell you that it's a special someone because the lady who wrote me is convinced that there's only one gay couple in this entire book. But wink wink nudge nudge jaw feel.
Yeah, he wanted to build a new sect with a close friend.
He just needs to find the right hetero life partner.
Yeah, they just need to be
that exists.
Yeah, they just need to be very straight together. And definitely not, they definitely need to just go be friends and definitely not end up in a relationship 6 years in. After, being best friends and telling everybody that they know that they just have a special kind of friend connection. And they're just like that.
Yeah.
And then end up engaged several years later.
Yeah, it's just it's a normal thing that everyone goes through, right?
It's regular. It's fucking regular.
We just have a special friend connection. We sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, we can't bear to be apart from each other.
And, like, we fuck sometimes, but, like, it's fine. It's, like, a special heterosexual friend connection.
Yeah, it's whatever.
We're just best friends for life.
Are we not all in this same boat? Excuse me.
We're not all in the same boat. And I just want to make a quick final note that I'm cursed, okay?
Are you cursed?
So it says, Xiao Xingchen and Songlan have...
Whose name we don't get yet, but it's easier to refer to him as that.
Yeah, they both have horsetail whisks.
Yeah.
Which I did not know what a horsetail whisk was going into this, so whenever it mentioned that one of these characters had a whisk, I imagined them with just a metal whisk in their hand and a sword in the other. And I was so confused. I was like, these dudes are really dedicated to baking.
They're out here ready to whip cream.
They're gonna whip some cream.
They're gonna whip that
They're gonna
cream.
whip the cream.
Whip cream? But yeah, his plan was to build a new sect with his friend, his quote-unquote underline italics very big font that didn't value a bloodline, so it was just going to be a sect for everybody and, just the friend times.
A melting pot.
Yeah, so that's what he said to all of the sects, and then the Chongs died, and then that's where the chapter ends. So
yeah, so he didn't really get a chance to do that before shit pop off.
Yeah,
Popped off, unfortunately.
Shit pops off even worse, but we'll get to that next week.
It extremely pops off.
When we read just one chapter next week, we're reading chapter 30.
It's a thick boy, though.
Yeah, it's a big old fat boy of a chapter, so we're gonna be reading that next time. It should be fun.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, chapter 30, part 3 of Mr. Do arc.
Very nice.
So real quick, I want to do our little Valentine's Day special reminder.
Yes,
again,
just so
usual.
you know.
Just so you know.
Y'all still got 2 hot weeks to get those beautiful Valentine's Day submissions in
Is
case
it 2
you're... Well, it's about 2 weeks.
It's 1 week.
Fair enough.
1 week.
It's kind of one and a half.
It's a week.
1.5 weeks. So
Anyway, so if you want to take part in our little Valentine's Day special, go ahead and write a little fan fiction. Put that trademark Podrecesses twist on it, and we'll read it in a little special episode, little Valentine's Day special. So the rules, just to remind you, are it should be between 100 and 1,000 words, rated T for teen or under. Doesn't have to be romantic, but should focus on some type of relationship of, some sort, nothing weird. Run it through Google Translate using any language of your choice, and then use that same old Google friend to translate it back into English, and then send us both the original and the result, as well as just let us know which language you used in your creation of the content. Send all that to cloudrecessespod@gmail.com with the subject Valentine's. The deadline is 11:59 p.m. on Monday, February 10th, whatever time zone applies to you. So, do you want to do some Google Translate Essence Collection, Ray?
let's do some Google Translate Essence Collection.
So this week I have 2 selections for us.
Ooh, wonderful.
One of them is kind of long, which is why. But these ones are just kind of, thematically, we just got some stuff that kind of ties in.
Yeah.
So, this first one, both of these are from Chinese.
Excellent.
This first one is from a modern AU.
All right.
Wei Wuxian is an idol in this one.
Cool.
And in this scene, he's talking to his mom. He's talking to old Sangta Sanren.
Oh, wonderful.
She's alive.
I love when they're alive and
Me too.
fixed. I love it so much. He deserves to have cool parents who loved him.
I know. Oh. But I don't know. I'm not sure what exactly they were talking about, but they're somewhere and they're talking to each other.
That's okay. Tibetan color faintly, in quotations, and asked, "Can you come back next year?" Wei Wuxian sat upright and answered, all in lowercase, all one word, no punctuation, can. Zhang Se nodded and said, "Well, you can't and you can. Both of you come back together." You can and you can.
You can't and you can. Both of you come back
I
together.
really don't know where she was trying to go with that. Was it like a weird, like, mom guilting thing?
Maybe. God, that'd be funny.
Definitely lost in translation.
Just, guilting Wei Wuxian for not visiting more often.
Yeah.
He's got busy idle shit to do.
He's being
played by Xiaozhan. It's a difficult life. Anyway, so this next one, this one is right at the beginning of whatever this fic is, so this is all of the context that I got.
All right. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji returned to the cloud without knowing where they were going. Both of them settled down, only to find that Wei Wuxian's sleep problem was really serious, and he couldn't sleep every day. I didn't notice it before. At the beginning, Wei Wuxian was thinking about running every day. Lan Wangji lifted the quilt and pulled out the dust to hide the man's fate. He dragged him back to the room more than 10 times. Sleep. Later, Wei Wuxian didn't want to run away, but Lan Wangji had to share a room with him. The free elf Wei Wuxian was desperate to catch a chance in a sock. He had to fight for the right to a room for one person. Of course, like the previous escape, it had repeatedly defeated and ended up being suppressed by the 2 mountains of voodoo fixation. That's what I call my titties. Lan Wangji naturally failed to detect what he ended up mostly tired and fell asleep instead of falling asleep naturally. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I couldn't help throwing that shit in. What in the world?
The free elf Wei Wuxian was desperate to catch a chance.
Master has given Wei Ying a sock!
Oh my god, Wei Ying pussy indulgence, though.
Wei Ying pussy indulgence!
Traicionera. Oh, fucking god. With the voodoo fixation. 2 mountains of voodoo fixation.
2 mountains? I'm telling you, that's what I call my titties.
Me too!
2 mountains of voodoo fixation. Don't know that voodoo, that doo-doo so well.
Watch me doo-doo this voodoo.
I'm gonna do this voodoo. That voodoo that you do so well.
That voodoo that you do.
That voodoo that you do. Anyway.
I don't wanna go without paying a little just a bit of respect to he fell asleep instead of falling asleep naturally.
He fell asleep.
Oh, he fell asleep. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Know what I'm saying? Fell asleep.
Got no fucking clue. So,
no clue whatsoever.
I don't fart. Anyway, do you want to take some questions?
Sure.
We got some good questions. I mentioned earlier that we got a question about D&D.
Yes.
And so I want to go to that one first.
We can do that.
So, if you have questions, by the way, you can send them to us on Twitter at CloudRecessPod, just one recess, or via Tumblr, on our Tumblr. Tumblr via Tumblr.
Do people still use Tumblr?
People still use Tumblr, I guess. They at least use it to ask us questions.
Crazy. I love
that. You can send it to cloudrecessespod.tumblr.com/ask, but we're going to go to Twitter first.
Twitter! Absolutely.
So.
Oh, it's at Ask Jovery coming in clutch. At Ask Jovery asks on our Twitter, if LWJ and WWX played D&D, what classes do you think they'd choose? What classes would the Nier brothers choose? Do you support my headcanon of Jiggy the Warlock Sugar Baby? I just think it'd be neat. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Oh my god.
There's a part 2.
Oh, I am a fool. Maybe it is WWX as the Eldritch Sugar Baby, and LWJ just sits there consumed with confused lust, especially if he is the DM. Wow. First of all, that's fucking great. I'm never not going to think of Selwyn Moondown when I think of Eldritch Warlock Sugar Baby.
Have I talked about Selwyn on this podcast?
I don't think you've
just for context.
I don't think you've talked about Selwyn Moondown on this podcast.
For context, Selwyn Moondown is my very first D&D character. He is a half-elf warlock, and he is a sugar baby. That's kind of his hustle.
The honeypot moment.
Yeah, the honeypot, kind of that hustle. He's on that hustle.
He's on that grind consistently.
He is.
That's the thing about it.
Yeah, he had the charlatan background. I played him for over a year. He is the only character I've ever made that matters to me.
Yes.
That's a lie, but he's my baby boy.
He's pretty close.
I did give physical birth to him myself.
Yeah, it was a harrowing process.
You were there for it, yeah. He's the reason that my screen name on a lot of things, my username on a lot of things is fuck warlock.
Because he's a fuck boy, except he's a warlock.
He's a warlock and he fucks.
He's a warlock and he fucks.
He's a warlock and he fucks.
That's the
anyway,
thing. So he's the only character that ever exists and matters to me.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm always a fan of a warlock sugar baby, and yes, Jiggy is definitely a warlock sugar baby.
Jiggy is definitely a warlock sugar baby.
His patron sugar daddy is definitely like Archdemon Wen Rohan. Yeah.
Yeah, Archdemon Wen Rohan.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tiefling Wens.
Bitch!
Yo! I fuck with it. Okay.
Wow.
I just want to talk about...
I was so focused on Tiefling Jongs that I didn't even think. Wow.
Tiefling Wens. That's my thing. So...
The power.
Here's my thing about Lan Wangji playing D&D. I think he would be one of those people who just plays like a self-insert because he's so it's not that he's not creative, he's just so overwhelmed by the choices and not familiar enough with the media itself yet to really bring himself to let loose. Yes.
And if Wei Ying's there, he's going to be extra double, like, oh, I want to impress him, kind of.
Yeah.
So he's kind of freezing in, he's frightened.
Yeah.
And I feel like we got a question similar to this. I could swear, like, probably within the first 5 episodes of the show. But
because
that's definitely
are the way we are.
Oh yeah, that's definitely 100% my headcanon. Like, they tell him, Lanjan, make your D&D character, and he says, it's a cleric. His name is Lan Wangji. And it's like
what is he a cleric of?
Taoism.
He's a bard. I changed my mind. Bards are the ones that play music, right?
They let him be like, somebody gives him the idea to be like, hey, maybe you could be like, this cool, because he can't decide whether to be a cleric or a bard.
Yeah.
Because, like, in his heart, he feels cleric, but he also really likes the bard stuff.
Yeah.
So they give him, like, a homebrew cleric domain that's, like, song domain or something, where it lets him do some bard-type shit. It's cute, but he still can turn undead. So it's just him. Wei Wuxian is definitely being, like, the fucking edgelord necromancer, but he's also a shithead. He's, like, he's also kind of playing himself, but he's doing it because it's his subconscious being annoying to Lan Wangji.
Yeah, he's playing an idealized version of himself.
Yeah.
He's subconsciously, unconsciously playing a character that he wants to see fucking Lan Wangji's character. Mm-hmm. So, of course, subconsciously, that character's gonna be him.
Yeah. He has a friend, Wen Yang came along and he was playing a paladin, but his paladin died, but the DM said, well, how about this? Wei Wuxian, your character can bring him back as one of your necromancy zombies, and he can just be your friend. And that works out for both of them, because sometimes Wen Yang's player, like, can't make it. So, he isn't there all the time, but he's there when he gets
player,
in clutch.
Wen Yang.
Yeah.
Wen Yang's player.
Yeah, his player. We're talking about fucking D, whatever.
He just plays himself.
He just bees himself.
He just bees himself.
What about the Nias? I feel like NMJ's gotta be a barbarian. Like, he feels that...
NMJ, I feel like, would be one of those old school D&D players.
Oh my god. He's like first edition.
Like, yeah, and he's like kind of a bastard about it. He's like, well, I only remember the rules from 3rd edition.
Yeah, he's like, I remember it being this way. I'm still gonna call it this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He keeps forgetting that there isn't a dungeoneering check in 5e.
Nia Huaisong is just in the group because Nia Mingjoy is in the group.
Yeah, he's like, they're like, well, Huaisong, what are you gonna play? And he's like, I don't know, somebody make my character for me. And he, like, gives somebody else his character sheet and lets them pick something for him.
Well, and like, then what do you want to be? I don't know. Just
What do I have to,
calm
like...
and, like, chilling.
Yeah, somebody makes him, like, a halfling druid, and he fucking goes with it. Like, they do the work for him. They roll all the stats. They pick out all the shit. They do the math for him.
Okay.
But his character ends up being, like, the fucking most coming in clutch, like, brain master of the entire party.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. The backbone of the party. Whatever his name is.
He just didn't want to do the work to establish it.
Yeah.
Like, when somebody else got the ball rolling for him, he was like, alright.
Yeah, at first, like, he genuinely was like, I don't know, this is overwhelming, it's so many dice, I don't know what to do. Duggar, roll it for me! I'm not gonna roll it for you, rolls it anyway. So
this is the last time,
This is the last time, 20 times later, still rolling for him. What a good question.
I'm so glad.
I still firmly cling to the belief that Zhangsheng has, like, he has, like, this edgy tiefling rogue or something, or, like, something like that, who has, like, this really well-developed backstory, and it's, like, really intricate, and he never gets the chance to show it off.
Yeah.
Because Wei Ying's always fucking hogging shit to do. He has really shitty luck when he tries to roll.
Oh.
He always fucking botches his rolls. He's always rolling death saves.
Yeah, bless him.
God.
He doesn't get a chance to truly shine until, like, the third to last session.
God.
Poor JC.
Pour one out. Legends only. What a fucking... I'm so sorry if you don't play D&D. Anyway.
It's great.
Here's our next question.
All right, our next one is from our good friend of the show, Jordan Canning, at Bradipus Rex, and he had asked, since this is the beginning of the do chapters, which characters do the do? If they do the do, which flavored do's do they do? Any other soda or beverage preferences are welcome.
Jordan, oh my god. Wei Wuxian definitely does the do.
The Wens are addicted. Oh, Wei Wuxian is addicted to Code Red.
Yeah.
Wei Wuxian's do of choice is Code Red.
Yeah.
I think that the Lawns would have more of a Baja Blast moment.
Yeah, I can
themselves.
feel that. Yeah.
But it's got to be the Diet Baja Blast because they don't want to ingest too much sugar.
Yeah, it's sugar free. Isn't there like a blue Mountain Dew though?
Yeah,
or am I thinking of Pepsi Blue?
No, it is blue.
Pepsi
I don't
Blue?
know what it's called. Let me look up the Mountain Dew flavors really quick.
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with...
I need to find the picture of that man hunched around all of his Mountain Dew flavors.
I know. I need to, like, I'm not super up on my Mountain Dew flavor knowledge. Maybe the Lawns are into Mountain Dew Ice, the white one.
Mountain Dew, oh yeah, Mountain Dew Ice. Mountain Dew Ice is okay.
Mountain Dew Voltage is the blue one.
No, what's the really good white one? Because the Mountain Dew Ice is just a lemon lime bullshit.
Oh, is it Whiteout?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And here's Walter White dressed up as the twins from The Shining. So that's great. Literally look at this.
I don't like seeing that.
There he is.
Not one bit.
It's your favorite dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
My favorite of many dads from Malcolm in the Middle.
Your favorite Malcolm in the Middle dad.
Oh, God.
One of several. So let's see. We've got Mountain Dew flavors. We've got Mountain Dew Ice, Mountain Dew Live Wire, the orange one. The orange one's pretty good. Mountain Dew Voltage is a very good lawn flavor, I think. Mountain Dew Whiteout, also good. Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Actually, this is a really good Wei Wuxian.
Yeah.
That's a Yiling Laozu aesthetic.
Oh,
the like purple Mountain Dew, and it's got like a black label.
Yeah, he was into the Code Red, but then he got kicked into the burial mounds, and that's where he discovered Mountain Dew Pitch Black, and he drank it, and that's how he got necromancy powers.
Jin Liang drinks exclusively Game Fuel.
Yeah. He's a Game
Jin Liang and Jingyi drink exclusively Game Fuel. Lan Xishui prefers tea.
Yeah, he doesn't do any of this.
He doesn't do the do. I don't think Lan Xishui does the do.
No, he doesn't do the do. I don't think either of the Nias do the do. Huaisang, when he was younger, I think, did the do.
Huaisang, when he was younger and a gamer, definitely did the do.
Yeah.
Definitely did the do.
Yeah.
But I think Huaisang grew out of it because Just trying to cultivate a more adult aesthetic, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he needed to find ways to like get to sleep.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of keeping him up too much.
JC probably fucks with
he does the do on the DL.
Yeah.
Do
he
on
does.
the DL, yeah.
He does do the do on the DL.
You gotta tell me, because this is the one that's really important to me, the one that's the closest to my heart. Who's the Sangrita Blast bitch? Pour one out for Sangrita Blast.
God, I love
Rip
Sangrita
to a legend.
Blast. Who's the most difficult character who always likes all of the things that get discontinued? That's the question.
One with
Who's the person
luck?
with the shittiest luck? Jiggy?
No, he would find a way to make it work in his favor. He'd be the one like spearheading the campaign to like bring back whatever flavor.
You know
it's
what
Jinzi Schwan.
I would say the most tragic, the person with absolutely the shittiest luck in the whole series is probably Songlan.
Ooh. Oh, that hurts me. Hurts me.
He's a Sangrita Blast liker.
He's a Sangrita Blast boy. Oh, that hurts. That hurts me.
Jinzi Schwan is a very valid.
I think maybe both of them. I don't see why. Porque no las dos. What the fuck is this Mountain Dew Violet? Oh, it's in Japanese.
Oh, all right, Japanese Mountain Dew.
I love that.
That's it.
That imported Mountain Dew.
Just like them Kit Kats.
Jiggy doesn't do the do.
No, I don't think Jiggy does the do. I think he considers himself too far above it.
He by necessity, when he was younger, he had to do the do because it was like the only, fun beverage that they could afford. But now that he's older and rich, he doesn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So he's not fucking with it. He's got like the organic Hanson's, cane sugar soda or whatever.
Damn, that shit whips, though.
It does fucking whip.
That's just so
Dude,
good.
Oh my god, speaking of another discontinued legend.
Do they even sell that shit at stores anymore?
I saw it somewhere. I know they do, but they discontinued a million years ago. They discontinued my favorite flavor ever, which was their dragon fruit sparkling water.
Oh, yes.
Oh god, that shit was so good. That shit whipped ass.
The only sparkling water you'll ever drink.
It was good as shit, anyway.
It was good. I mean, I have that same problem with shit I like just immediately getting discontinued as soon as I get into it.
I'm fucking sad.
It's been my problem for my whole life.
Isn't that just the bitch of it?
It is the bitch of it. It's the bitch of a living.
Lord. Let's go over to Tumblr.
You want to go to Tumblr?
Yeah, we have 3 of them on
Dumbly.
Yeah.
All right. Tumblr user Matrim Kauton said, "What's your guys' favorite name of all the weapons in Modao, and would you guys have a sword, a music instrument, or some random object for your potentially demonic cultivation? And what would its name be?"
Alright, so this is a multi-pronged question.
It's a multi-pronged question. I know we've answered it before, but I don't mind answering it again.
Yeah, I don't think we've answered the favorite name
no.
part. Like, so, here's the thing. Anytime somebody asks me what my favorite X is, my favorite fill-in-the-blank here thing is, I always have, like, several different favorites because I like them for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I have a favorite mouthfeel name. I think, like, I really like to hear the cool name of Jiangzai. I think that fucking rules, and I like to hear it and say it with my mouth.
Jiangzai is good.
My favorite due to irony, I mean, you gotta hand it to a legend with Suibian. My favorite funny translation that I get a lot, like, I mean, Dustproof is very funny, but that's overlooking the fact that, like, half the time when I Google Translate something from Chinese, Basha turns into hegemony.
Hegemony?
Yeah. But I think out of all of them, my absolute favorite has got to be Hensheng, because it means hate my damn life.
Hate my life.
Hate my life. H number 8 my life.
I knew you would pick Hensheng. It's just so perfect,
It's so fucking good.
It's very good. Mine's definitely split between Hensheng and just Sandu. Just because it's so fucking cool.
It's very good. It's very fucking good.
Zijian is cool as fuck, too.
Oh, Zijian rules. Zijian's my favorite just weapon, period.
Yeah.
It rules. What about our weapons, though? Here's, like, my thing is, if we took me and just, like, all of the physical and mental and emotional things that make me and put me into Funny Shansha world, I would, like, so cultivation is all about, like, bettering yourself and focusing on things and practicing and, you know, it's just about bettering yourself and bettering your skills. And I'm the type of person, I'm the dumbass fucking Leo-ass bitch who, if I'm not instantly excellent at something, I feel shitty.
Yeah,
And, like, I've had so many hobbies that I've tried to, pun unintended, cultivate, that I've just given up after, like, a couple of months because I've been like, oh, this is too much work and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm not physical whatsoever.
You'd be real good at waving a fan.
I feel like I could wave a fan. Like, yeah. I feel like I'd be the type of person in Modal world who would have, like a good, strong cultivation base. Like, I'd have a powerful core, but I would have no fucking motivation whatsoever. And so I would do fuck all with it.
I mean, honestly, same. We are the cultivators who don't do anything.
Like, damn, if I had a weapon, though, like, my favorite weapon ever, just in general, has always been wind and fire wheels.
Oh, yeah.
They whip ass, and I would absolutely call dibs on them. I'm naming one correct and the other one good, so... so that's mine.
This one's for my boys. I would want a Modal version of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. With the arm thing as well. So that's what I'm gonna go for.
Hell yeah. Do you have a cool name for it? Fuck Spitter.
Fuck Spitter?
Yeah.
But, wow.
Yeah. No buts about it.
I'm trying to make a Lan Wangji joke out of Blue Eyes White Dragon, but it's not, my brain is not connecting the dots. That's okay, the spirit was there.
Lan Eyes by Dragon. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, sure. I like it. All right. But yeah.
Dead Fish Eyes White Dragon.
Dead Fish Eyes White Dragon. Wow, speaking of Dead Fish Eyes White Dragon, this next question.
Oh, this is so good.
Anonymous asked, we all know Wei Wuxian has his messy bitch moments, but what is the Lan Wangji version of that? And what was it this chapter selection? I argue that Lan Wangji's version of the messy bitch moment is the rude bitch moment. Because there are so many, like, little points in all of these chapters where, like, if you read closely or, like, you're kind of familiar with Lan Wangji's, like, whole steez, you can tell he's being a dick inside of his head.
Like, he's absolutely looking at the camera like he's on The Office.
Yeah, it's definitely that kind of moment where he just, like, it's an office moment for him more than it is a messy bitch moment where he just, like, looks at the camera.
Yeah.
But
it's a girl,
chapters,
you fucking serious moment. What was Wei Wuxian's messy bitch moment, by the way, in these chapters? Because we keep forgetting to do this.
Wei Wuxian's messy bitch moment was probably in the beginning when he was like, let me take off my clothes and show you.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Nasty, put some clothes on, I told you. What about the Lan Wangji version, though? I think whatever we're calling it, I feel like it was when he just, like, shoots weighing down when he's trying to, like, rapid fire get him to trick him into answering him. Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. He's just, try harder next time.
Nah. Yeah. Beat me.
No, he's so deadpan.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I feel like that's a good,
the deadpan
comparison.
bastard moment.
The deadpan bastard moment. Very good.
It's really good. So here's our last one. I think that's a pretty good answer for that. And our final question comes from Anonymous,
And they asked, in the vein of the Chong Clan massacre story, do you remember and have a favorite local legend / ghost story? True or not, doesn't matter. If not, then would you choose to make one up to tell gullible travelers, and what would it be about? These are some bangers today. These are some bangers this episode.
Oh, man. So, we never had, when I was growing up, we didn't have, I mean, there are some local legends around here, I guess, but, who fucking cares? We're in Virginia Beach. This is the home of, we had several, witch trials and things like that. That's a big thing that there's stuff based on.
Yeah.
But, when I was little, I was really gullible.
Oh my god, the Noid story?
Let me tell the Noid story. I'm getting there.
Oh god. Okay, please. I was just making sure that was what you were telling.
Yeah, I've got that, and I've got another one that you've heard. But, I was really gullible, but I was also, for my age, I was smart. And, I was, I felt like I don't know, I just made friends with a lot of older kids. Mm-hmm. A lot of older kids in my neighborhood, and they were all my friends. And one of my friends, her name was Tanya, and she was about 6 years older than me. And when she was maybe 11, she had a younger brother, and his name was Micah. And there was this, how old was he? He was 3 years older than me or something. Whatever. We were everybody had to evacuate for a hurricane or something, and he didn't know why the whole family was packing up or where they were going. And she told him that it was because the Giants were coming to play golf. And this was because we lived right near the Naval Air Base, which has this big radar tower that looks like a gigantic golf ball on a gigantic tee. And she would always tell him that was a Giants golf ball. And now the Giants were coming to play golf, and the balls would come and crush everybody, so they had to pack all of their things and go under the houses so they wouldn't be crushed by the giant golf balls. And so he packed his shit, and he went under their porch. And they were, trying to leave, and their mom was like, "Where's Micah?" And, they found him under the porch.
Jesus.
But, Tanya was also responsible for the Noid story. So the Noid, when I was really, really little, there was a Domino's pizza, and this was in the early 90s, so we were in full Noid mode. We had the Noid going on, the Noid campaign was going strong. The Noid, there was a Domino's and it had this big mural of the Noid, and he was surfing, and it was very big, and it was very loud, and it was, right next to the street. Driving past it, there were, 3 feet between the car and the mural. And I thought it was kind of creepy. And Tanya told me that if you look at the Noid mural for more than, 3 seconds or something, you would die. And I fucking bought it, hook, line, and sinker, and, as scared as I was of that stupid Noid mural before, I was, infinitely more scared of it afterwards. It's not there anymore, but the Domino's is still there, and every time I pass it, I'm just thinking about that Noid, the murder Noid.
Yeah.
And how I would die from Noid poisoning.
Noid poisoning.
Noid
That's
poisoning.
It.
You know? Did you have any? Because you were elsewhere.
I wish that I had any kind of recollection of pretty much all of my early childhood, but it's mostly just a blur. Yeah. I don't remember pretty much anything. There's probably something concerning about that, but that's okay.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? But I would definitely make up local legends just to be a dick.
Oh yeah. If you happen to catch my Juvenalia episode that I did on the Patreon, I talked a little bit about some stories that I wrote when I was little, and that's basically what all of these were. So
yeah.
But yeah,
I'll let Roy tell those stories.
Oh yeah, I already told him. But Yeah,
she's got plenty.
She's got several.
Yeah, but
say?
I would want to make up stories just to like freak people out or like keep them safe. You know, just kind of like Nie Huaisong did.
Yeah.
Like if there was an area that was necessarily dangerous because of like, I don't know, a natural phenomenon, or maybe there was just a lot of crime around there, I'd probably, you know, spin up a little story for anybody new to town to kind of steer them away from it so they don't get themselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to, you know, actively hurt anybody.
Oh yeah, no, I would do it for funsies.
Yeah.
It's just
for
fun.
a giggle.
It's just fun. I just
for
think
the
it's
bants.
neat. The bants. But yeah, those are our questions this week.
Those are our questions. Thank you guys so much. Those were some slapperoonies.
That ruled. What a good questions segment.
Very good.
I
Very
love
good
it.
question segment this week. I'm pretty pleased with this.
Satisfied. But yeah, so now we can clean up a little bit. We have a Patreon, speaking of the things that we did on Patreon, or the things that I did on Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/podrecesses, where for $1 a month you can be a disciple of the show and get access to all of our Patreon exclusive bonus content, including my episode where I looked at a bunch of ancient content I produced between the ages of like 7 and 12 or so, right around the turn of the millennium. Plus you can get a special role in our Discord.
Yeah, and it'd be nice. And then we have a $5
tier
little moment.
$5 a month, you can be a sec leader of the show and get all of that, plus a more special role in our Discord channel, and a thank you shout out on the show. And you can send us a quick little message for us to read.
It's very nice.
It'll be good. And then for $10 a month, the slapper of all tiers, you can be one of any number of chief cultivators of the Podrecesses world and get all of that and an even more special role in our Discord, and you can send us requests for things to stream or read during live readings.
And it's good.
It's good.
Because you're helping support the effort.
You're helping support the cause.
The cause.
Roy and Ray 2020.
Roy and Ray 2020.
Trying to, you know, pay them bills 2020.
Pay them bills 2020. God, it's a struggle.
You know? But shout out to $5 seg leaders Colin Arnold, Sarah McClintock, and Lenny Williams. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you to $10 chief cultivator of the show, Scout Shiro. We love a Scout.
Scout is the OG. I am going to MCR with Scout in September.
Hell yes!
Oh my god, we gonna do it!
Fuck yes!
It's that good shit. It's that good shit.
That good shit. You gotta love it.
So anyway, thank you guys so much. If you want to support our Patreon.
Once again, that's Podrecess. No. Patreon.com/Podrecesses.
That's how it goes. There it is.
I know my websites.
That's right.
Speaking of websites, thank you to Noisepace.xyz for being our podcast network. Thank you, Sec Leader Matt.
Thank you, Sec Leader Matt.
Thank you, Sec Leader Matt, for hosting us, and thank you, Sec Leader Matt, for joining me in so many max raids in Pokemon. It's been good. I've gotten so many Milceries lately. But check out Noisepace. You can find a lot of very good podcasts, such as Sec Leader Matt's Pokemon Show Elite Florist Tour.
It's very good.
It's good. Fantastic Satisfaction. Jurging It podcast, which is almost finishing up. Fear Baiting. The Wonder Years.
Picking up something good.
Hell yeah. City Girls May Do. My Pod Cabbages. There's a lot.
There's many.
Many of them. You'll love it. Yeah. Once again, I'm Roy. I'm on Twitter at SemperFunny and also at Yeeling Hypebeast, which is my Mode Outside blog.
And I'm Fallon. I'm on Twitter at America's Burden. I'm locked right now because I'm, once again, paranoid about work things.
It'd be like that.
But feel free to follow. And my
it's late stage capitalism.
Yeah, it's late stage capitalism. My Donmei MXTX specific side blog is at Himbo Zongju. I'm going to try to be more active on it. Just kind of...
Just chilling.
Just chilling right now, trying to...
You know, just chilling.
Trying to avoid certain topics that are... The drama, yeah.
The drama, who needs it?
But feel free to follow.
You know?
Just kind of going through it right now, so I'm not super active.
It'd be like that. What are you going to do? You can find Podrecesses, the us, at cloudrecessespod.tumblr.com and on twitter.com/cloudrecess, just the one, cloudrecesspod. We're on all the podcast apps, all the websites. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, YouTube.
Interact with us.
Gaming. You can also join our Discord. The link is in the description, as always. And you know what we say at the end of every episode, right?
We say Semper Bunny, Roy.
Semper Bunny.
Semper Bunny. Oh.
Good night. Bye.